Just because you think it doesn't make it true. Have you ever caught yourself thinking things like, I'm not good enough, I'll probably fail, I'm too old, I'm just not that kind of person? Here's a question. What if those aren't facts? What if they're simply thoughts you've repeated so many times they've started to sound like the truth? Hi, welcome to Life Mastery Shifts. My name's Bill Collum. And in each one of our episodes, we will explore one small shift that can create lasting change. Last time we talked about the conversations nobody else can hear but you. Today, I want to challenge something many of us have believed for years. Not everything you think is true. One of the biggest mistakes we make is assuming that every thought that enters our mind deserves to be believed. Think about that for just a moment. If someone walked up to you and told you that you weren't smart enough, or capable enough, or that you'd never succeed, you'd probably question them. You might even tell them they were wrong. But when the same message comes from your own mind, most of us don't question it at all. We simply believe it. That's because familiar thoughts feel true. Not because they are true, but because they are familiar. Your mind has rehearsed them so many times that they've become automatic. The thought appears, and before you know it, you've accepted it as a fact. But here's something else I'd like you to remember. A thought is not a fact. Let me say that again. A thought is not a fact. It's simply a thought. Some thoughts, well, they deserve your attention. Others, they deserve to be challenged. And some thoughts deserve to be ignored altogether. One of the most powerful questions you can ask yourself when you have a thought is this. Is this actually true? Don't ask, does it feel true? Not have I thought this for many years, but ask, is it actually true? I think sometimes you'll discover there's very little evidence to support the story you've been telling yourself. So today, every time you catch yourself having a resistant thought, pause, take a slow breath, and then ask yourself, is this a fact? Or is it simply a familiar thought? Is this absolutely true? You don't have to argue with it. You don't have to force yourself to think positively. Just become curious. Curiosity creates space, and that space is where change begins. So remember, my friends, not every thought deserves your belief. Choose carefully which thoughts you practice, because the thoughts you practice become the life you live. So until next time, keep making the small shifts, because small shifts repeated consistently create extraordinary lives. I'm Bill Collum, and I'll see you for your next Life Mastery Shift.